I'm about to go. All right. So everybody in here? Are we in here? Getting everybody in here. I'll let people load up in here. We are doing a live stream tonight of the show. We're tapping in. It's Perspectives and Facts podcast. Let me go ahead. Hold on. Um, give me a moment with this audio. All right, bet. I just had the video playing. Listen, man, I'm letting everybody load up in here, man. Everybody pull up. Everybody pull up. It's been a crazy weekend, man. Niggas gotta come off the couch. Gotta get off the phones. We got a live stream, man. We gotta talk about this. Piece of Oliver Branch, piece of Carlton Way, man. We gotta talk about this, man. This has been a wild weekend. Wild weekend hip hop. Kendrick finally responded. You know what I'm saying? Then he responded again. And it was Friday night. Drake dropped with the video. It was hot. Niggas was like, this might be it. Then while we're talking about that, we're trying to hear that. Kendrick drops his response to it. Artwork 8. Niggas is saying what's going on. Nobody can figure out what's going on. We just know we got this Kendrick track. Stepped on the Drake track, but the Drake track was hot. It was dope. And then we're sitting back trying to decipher it for a day on Saturday, and then we get Not Like Us. It goes up. It goes crazy. It's going viral right now. And then you have this new track that Drake dropped, you know what I'm saying, The Heart Part 6. Now, what are we thinking about this? Do we need to play the tracks? Do we need to hear what people are saying? Because right now, if you ask me my opinion, Kendrick Lamar took the lead. And when he stepped on the Drake song and then doubled down with Not Like Us, the score to me was like 28-10 late in the third quarter, right? Or just third quarter, 28-10. Like this is looking like this is going to, this lead is growing. And then with this Drake response with the, the Heart Part 6, I got to say the score would be right now 28-20. 28-20 now, like, if Drake comes back with another record like tomorrow before Kendrick can respond and have like some type of proof or have some pictures or basically justify his evidence or his claims before Kendrick Lamar responds, then Drake will be in the lead. If Drake tomorrow morning pulls a 50 Cent or Mayweather and got Kendrick Lamar baby mama with the kids, shopping somewhere or we at the house chilling, we get something disrespectful like that, you know what I'm saying? We get some domestic violence claims or something like that, then with another record, then I feel like Drake can win. Drake can take it and win. If he can prove his facts before Kendrick can prove any facts or before Kendrick can respond, if Drake drops this record and then before we get a Kendrick response, provide proof, do something else foul and disrespectful, or drop another record. But Drake is going to have to score again before Kendrick scores again. Drake has to do something in order to get back what Kendrick just took from the weekend, because not only did you step on his song on Friday, like 20 minutes, 30, 40 minutes after it dropped, you come back and then drop a banger. And Drake thought he had the banger, which it is. I think it goes. I like the Drake diss. You know what I'm saying? I really do like Drake. Just like the video, I think it's dope. But what Kendrick dropped, which is that Kendrick record hit different. That Kendrick record was a bop. You know what I'm saying? Like Family, what's it called? Yeah, Family Matters. And then when he did Buried Alive Part 2, before Family Matters dropped, that Buried Alive Part 2 was fire. If Kendrick Lamar didn't come out with Meet the Grams and Not Like Us, and we're waiting on Kendrick's response, like people thought, I feel like Drake Family Matters would have, like, I won't say won him the battle, but it would be like Drake has the lead, narratives would be built, momentum would lead, because it's all part of the battle. You know what I'm saying? Perception is reality. If you taking too long without dropping something, you drop it just going crazy. You taking too long is like, okay, we people are allowed to shape narratives and how people can think about it. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes down to what just happened, we can't sit up here and act like Kendrick Lamar has lost the battle. I haven't seen anybody say he's lost the battle. If this battle ended right now, people are saying Kendrick Lamar won. I feel like Drake put up a good fight. Drake put up a respectful fight. And this is just keeping it just on the bars, on the lyrics right now, song for song. Every song Drake dropped besides the Tailor Made song, I liked. I thought was pretty cool. Tailor Made song, the AI thing was his biggest mistake. His biggest mistake was really Tailor Made, because if you never drop Tailor Made, you don't give as much wiggle room that you gave people to disrespect that track. If you just would have rapped on a different beat or picked a different song and it was hot, or you would have dropped Family Matters. In my head, I feel like you should have dropped Family Matters after Push-Ups. Like, if Family Matters is done, you should have dropped that after back. You should have dropped that like on some back-to-back shit. And then I don't know if Kendrick would have been able to survive if he did that. But at the same time, he couldn't have, because some of the bars he used, a lot of them were responses to what Kendrick said throughout the week. So we can't say and sit up here saying, oh, well, this nigga was wrong, or, oh, they're both reacting against each other. And then even with the Drake diss, what he said tonight, oh, I fed you information. Like, I don't understand how you're saying I don't feel like that narrative really flies right now, saying you fed him information, because the information that you fed him was like what? That you're like that you talk to underage girls? Like, what was the whole kid thing was? What was the fake narrative? It's like you didn't really come in here, and I don't feel like you came in here and what was the mole? But you said all the moles is bitch ass niggas. So who's the bitch ass nigga? It sounded like you sat up there at first. To me, it kind of felt like this. It kind of felt like you sat there at first and trying to basically run interference on yourself, saying, oh, like everything I gave you was fake. Oh, it was a fake mole in the camp. Do I believe it was a fake mole in the camp? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think if it was a fake mole in the camp, you would have went on Instagram been like, oh, I ain't got no kid. Find an 11-year-old. Like, nigga, like, you weren't even defending the allegations. Like, to me, he went ghost after Meet the Grams. And I feel like if somebody was feeding you false information, the way you're trying to say those Kitty Fiddler allegations wouldn't hit you so hard. You went silent and then dropped this in 24 hours. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel like that whole, oh, we're feeding you false information. I don't feel like that was, I don't feel like that's a legit narrative to run with right now. Because what's false? Like, the whole things about you and your friends being sex offenders, having the mansion, the compound with the sex offender list, icons over the house. Like, that's what he's saying. And based off of some of Drake's moves, that can't be disproven by a song like Drake. There is images of you following like teen high school basketball, like a girls' high school basketball. Like, girls have went on platform and say, yeah, like, I'll find the clip of them saying, yeah, Drake followed me and my teammate. We were playing high school basketball. Like, what grown man follows girls' high school basketball? You talking to Millie Bobby Brown like a 14-year-old girl. Oh, we talk about boys. I said I miss you. Like, that's kind of weird. That's not normal. No grown man would that be acceptable by. But right now is like, these aren't allegations. These are just true things. The fact he dated like an 18-year-old when he first started, when he met her at like 15, 16. Like, those stories came out. Those pictures came out. The timelines match up. These aren't just like allegations by Jaguar, right? These are things that have been out here for a minute. And then when you compile these things together, it's no longer allegations. It's like, we got real questions. This isn't, like I said, this isn't niggas in a tinfoil hat with a hot spot telling you this nigga is a pedophile. I'm not saying that's what he is, but I'm saying based off of the track record of things that people have compiled, like Drake was on stage with a 17-year-old talking about, oh, I can feel your breast on my chest or something feels good, saying you were thick, and she's 17, and so I had a good time. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel. Like, that's what he said. This is not me being biased. Let's go from allegation to allegation. Okay, you're saying Kendrick Lamar beat his wife or his girlfriend, whatever. Okay, cool allegation, but where is the facts to prove it? Like, where are we proving this angle from? And then even with this new song, more the angle is, oh, you and your wife aren't together, and Dave Free is like the father of your kid and the heart. Now that's cool. I like that part. But when we try to compare allegations to allegations, it's like, bro, I personally would rather take the I'm beating my wife and she probably left me for a nigga close to me. This may not be my kid. I'll take that all day over I might be touching kids. I'm saying, if we gotta say who got the, if both things are true, we're rooting for two horrible people. But if we really trying to compare what allegations would you rather have, like, come on, bro. Like, we're not gonna act like Kendrick Lamar's on the hook. He has to prove that he's a perfect family man. Okay, it's like, okay, so what if Kendrick Lamar isn't the perfect family man? What is that gonna do to his career? What is it going to do to his career if Kendrick Lamar wife cheat on him? That's not the son, whatever. What is that going to do compared to if Drake is actually proven to be what he's being accused of, or can't shake that jacket? So it's a different level of comparisons when we talk about what Drake has to prove and what Kendrick has to prove. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about this man's family. You're talking about his lack of black identity. This nigga is saying the nigga standing next to you had sex with your wife and is leaving emojis. Hey, you stole from everybody in Atlanta. Hey, you might not be a perfect family man. Hey, you say anti-Black American shit in your rhymes. Hey, you might not be living at home with your family right now. Hey, they're calling you the Elvis of hip hop. You don't, and Drake is saying, hey, well, you only make albums every 5 years. Like, what are we talking about? Like, what are we talking about when it comes to this? Like, as comparison to what's at stake right now as far as reputations. You know what I'm saying? Bad father, you touch on, and then even the stuff about the kids. Let's remove that part, right? Let's take that out of the battle right now. Let's focus on when Drake says things about Black Americans, right? The whipped and changed like American slaves. You rapping like you're trying to free the slaves. You doing, and Kendrick Lamar said last track, but we just heard this nigga double down. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why, especially so many Black Americans sit up here and cape for a nigga like Drake, letting him disrespect only because you feel like he's cool enough to pass, and you're totally disregarding the fact that if somebody came on here right now and said, oh, put somebody in a gas chamber, it's up, it's over. You can't say that. You can't say certain things that are traumatic to other people's past, but you're going to let him do it. You know what I'm saying? You're sitting there telling your mom, oh, yeah, Rick Ross is being racist while you say these things in rhymes. So what is it? Can you say nigga and make fun of American slavery and also run to your white mother and claim that this big black man, Rick Ross, is being racist to you? Like, how you actually playing it on both ends? You see what I'm saying? And then what people really don't understand is, what I was breaking this down on Twitter also, is that not Rick Ross, but Drake, the reason why he's losing this battle and has lost the perception war is that for the last 2 years, Drake has been directly alienating his female fan base. And his female fan base was the last group of people, was the only group of people really that was protecting Drake's image, his likeness, his reputation, his cool factor. It was never the real niggas, and it was never the lame Drake fans. It was the women. Just like if we've been online for a long time, right? You went from MySpace to Facebook. Why? Because all the girls on Facebook. Then he went from Facebook to Twitter. So all the girls is on Twitter, right? You didn't know how to tweet. You didn't know what it was about. You know what to do. But niggas was like, hey, the girls are on Twitter. So niggas ran to Twitter. And then when, this thing called Instagram. That's what the girls, that's what the hoes are. Oh, niggas with Instagram. You know what I'm saying? Oh, what club you gonna go to tonight? One that has the most girls in it. Oh, what spot you gonna go to? One that has the hoes. Like, women drive traffic for everything. Women tell you what's cool. That's why niggas is in Atlanta when they feel like they got a hit record. Where we going? We gotta go to the strip club. We gotta play it in the strip club. We gotta try it in the strip club. Drake attachment to women has protected him when he did the Pom Pot freestyle with DMX. Like, I don't like him. When Charlamagne and other people advocated against Drake, was like, you know what, something about Drake I don't like. But it's always women being like, oh, you don't like him because he gets the girls. You don't like Drake because he makes R&B. You don't like Drake because he's not a thug. Who out the band? Cool, great narratives. But after he dropped his Honestly Nevermind tape, which was the last tape that was dedicated to women, and the women didn't defend it. It didn't go up with Miss Morale and Big Steppers, and then people said it stepped on Beyonce's album. Drake, to me, pretty much from Her Loss to Even for All the Dogs. When's the last time Drake gave you that song, that R&B song for the girls? You can play with your girl, you can set the mood, you set the vibe. He hasn't gave you any of those songs in the last 2-3 albums. Really, last 2 albums, if you For All the Dogs and Her Loss, even by the titles. You know what I'm saying? So once we get to this point where Drake had, and then you're dissing Serena Williams, you're dissing Rihanna, you're dissing Meg Thee Stallion. You know what I'm saying? You're dissing women with very strong fan bases, women you're alienating. You know what I'm saying? So that whole female fan base over the last few years has slowly walked away from him. The only people that are standing next to Drake right now are like his hardcore fans, stans, incels, and whatever else his fan base is made out of. But the protection that kept him cool for so long, which was the women, he's slowly lost. And what you were seeing was with Sexy Red, he was trying to re-ingratiate himself with the female audience, with the women audience. And that's why you hear niggas saying, oh, you trying to pop out Sexy Red. That's why people are trying to say, hey, get Drake and Sexy Red out of here. You know what I'm saying? Because really what they're doing. And then if you look at it, why is Sexy Red going to all these high schools? Why is Sexy Red trying to dance, shake ass at all these black high schools? You don't see Sexy Red going to the white private school shaking ass. You don't see Drake taking Sexy Red to the prominent small hat center and shaking ass, right? Drake ain't took her one of them schools. But why are we always taking Sexy Red to these black high schools? What are we advocating? And why is Drake standing next to that? You know what I'm saying? Like, if we got to give credit where credit's due, at least an Ari Lennox came from a J. Cole, right? He's biracial, but at least he was like, you know what? I'm gonna bring up this Chocolate Sisters. That she's a singer, she's cool. I'm gonna bring up Ari Lennox. That's who he's standing next to. When you look at Kendrick Lamar, you know what I'm saying? He's like, you know what? I'm gonna bring up this girl. She's cool. She ain't even the baddest one, but she got talent. We can get her, done up and get her the whole, artist treatment later. But I'm gonna bring up SZA. That's who he's standing next to. And you got Drake, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna stand next to Sexy Red. Like, nigga, what are we doing? What are you presenting to us? And then for the fact that not only do you disrespect Black Americans in your bar, whip you like slaves, niggas trying to free slave stuff, not only do you cosplay other Black Americans in music and style and sauce, you do it to the Caribbean diaspora, you do it to the African diaspora, you do it to the UK diaspora, you do it regionally in the United States. You go over and shape shift in other people's cultures. Don't give credit. And then your contribution back is, I'm going to bring the most vile, ghetto, ratchet, low vibrational walking thing we've ever seen in music history with Sexy Red. Like, all these dope hip hop artists, rappers. You're not standing next to Caribou. You're not standing to Nisha. You're not standing next to Lotto. You're not standing next to Meg. You're not standing next to Doja Cat. You're standing next to Sexy Red. Like, that's the person you choose to peddle on not only our youth, but the mainstream. But we already know her management is Gamma. We already know that Drake and Larry Jackson are cool. They've already had equity talks. If you listen to Drake's raps, So Larry Jackson's her manager, running of Gamma. Is already speculation that Drake and Gamma have some type of backdoor business ties. So you're just, favor for a favor on top of the fact you got a $400 million Universal deal. So all these new artists like Four Bats, who's under Gamma, um, Sexy Red under Gamma, you got to go pedal all these new industry plants out, just like you're trying to pedal the AI thing out. Because after you signed this $400 million deal, you pretty much signed your life away to be a corporate plant like a T1000. You know what I'm saying? And even when it comes down to Drake, man, like on some real, what is he representing that you want to keep around so bad? Does he make great music? Yes. Just like, yeah, Ja Rule made great music, but when niggas want to pack him out, it's time to go. You know what I'm saying? Nelly made great music, but when you swipe the card down the ass, niggas was like, hey, you gotta go. We gonna solicit music, but anything you drop from this point on is not gonna hit the same. We gotta get you out of here. When it comes down to Lil Flip, we thought Lil Flip was cool, but once they dropped the Lucky Charms mixtape cover that niggas already seen, once it, the main parts, it was over. And the main reason why they're trying to take over hip hop and it's such a hostile take over the music industry, and the reason why they want to always bastardize and the deform hip hop at its core, is because what we're seeing in this battle is hip hop is such an uncontrolled culture. Unless you are controlling two puppets, you can't dictate what the people want at a certain extent. Kendrick proved through the weekend, through this battle so far, like you can be the corp. Like, I'm going to out rap the internet. Like Drake tried to out media the rap game, and Kendrick out rap the internet in real time. Kendrick, and I'm gonna drop the link if anybody wants to hop in. I'm gonna drop the link in the chat here. But what you have pretty much seen is what Drake has spent so much time doing since the Meek Mill beef is getting cool with Elliot, getting cool with Gilly, sending jackets to Cameron and Mace, doing a Dipset tribute. Getting cool with putting Ack in the song, getting on Aiden Ross's stream, getting on Kai Sinat's stream, giving OVO Mall somewhere to live. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much, he's bought most of the mainstream media's opinions that they're not going to say anything and they're not going to be truthful with their opinions. He's pretty much bought their silence. You know what I'm saying? And you can't really take people's opinions like that serious, because like they're paid and bought for. Just like when we look at CNN and niggas want to be like, oh man, Don Lemon, he's paid and bought for, or Tucker Carlson, he's paid and bought for. Some of these people are, especially in hip hop media and black media, these niggas want to favor niggas like Charlemagne, who's been kicking his back. And you notice a lot of these niggas who co-signing Drake have been historical Drake haters. Like, why is Funk Flex the man who went on the most epic Drake rants we've had in the last 15 years? The cell phone freestyle rant Flex had, the Sando Man rant Flex had, and you up here talking about, oh, Drake got him. Charlemagne, you were one of the loudest Drake haters from the jump. You know what I'm saying? You and DMX hated on him. You was hating on him from this, from that. Then you decided to throw him a bone on the back-to-back disc, got some bottles flew to you, and you were still trying to, diss him in, but all of a sudden you changed your tune. Like, why are all these traditional New York niggas like backing Drake so much? But I think some of them have their different reasons. I'm gonna break down to you Funk Flex and Charlemagne's reasons. Funk Flex and Charlemagne, and I'll probably say a little bit of Gilly. Some of these niggas, because they work in media, and because Drake is kind of buying up certain things, and certain companies are getting consolidated, a lot of people, it's kind of the Jay-Z effect. At this point, a lot of people, and it's like the Jay-Z Diddy effect. At this point, a lot of people, especially these old niggas who kind of washed, they are fearing that Drake can remove them from radio stations and cost them their job the same way niggas did with Hov and P. Diddy. So niggas are talking nice. That's what you see from them. From other East Coast media platforms, you're seeing niggas still kind of hate on the West Coast. And I think it's an old beef, East Coast, West Coast thing, but I just think you see a group of people hating on the West Coast from the East Coast. And then whether it's Philly, New York, Boston, whatever that whole tri-state area, DMV, whatever, I just feel like it's some East Coast, West Coast hate. But one thing that the East Coast doesn't really understand is a secret relationship between the West and the South. See, the West and the South was kind of the same, a reason why, you know, Snoop was able to, okay, I can't do Death Row, I can go with Master P. The South and the West is a reason why you see what you're seeing right now, where somewhere, somehow, niggas from Atlanta, aka the South, and niggas from California, from the West Coast, had a conversation like we've had in the past and said, hey, is somebody somewhere we need to, you know, escort out the room, get out the paint. It's politics. East Coast niggas don't go in those rooms. Midwest niggas don't go in those rooms. It's a South to West connection. You know what I'm saying? Jay Prince has been silent. Jay Prince can't say nothing because a Birdman can't say nothing. I'm riding with Drake all the way. Yeah, that was weeks ago. Where's Wayne at? Where's Nicki? Where's Birdman? Where's Jay Prince with this threatening slow message? Jay Prince, they got a new book out. Where's Jay Prince Jr.? Why after Takeoff died and Offset and Quavo doing solo albums, why doesn't Drake? He said he was a fourth Migo, but why don't you hop on one of their songs and help boost their career? I mean, damn, one of your dads killed their brother. The least you could do is throw these niggas a fucking feature, right? But it's funny because on one of the songs on For All the Dogs, he's pretty much saying how he'll put money on a nigga head. And after the verse about put money on a nigga head, he shouts out QC. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody want to tap in, here's a link. In my main point, what I keep saying too is like, yo, where's the people that need to stand next to Drake? Where's 21 Savage? Where's Quavo? Where's the Migos? He got cool with Sauce Walka after the diss drop. Where's Sauce Walka at? Huh? Where's Party Next Door? Who's standing next to Drake right now? Even 4 Bats. The little bot guy that came out, right? The 8 p.m. at late guy came out, right? Everybody's like, this is AI. Guess who he signed to? Gamma. And guess who he signed a 1 album distribution deal with? OVO. Same people stand next to Sexy Red. So what is this Drake and Gamma attachment right now? You know what I'm saying? What is the relationship between Drake, Gamma, these AI technology, these industry plants? And we're gonna add Mofax to the stage, man. Salute Mofax. What's going on, my nigga? What's going on, my brother? We are here. It's going on. Armageddon is D-Day in hip hop right now. What's popping, man?
It's always good to chop it up with Florida with Jay.
Definitely.
And for real, it's some fuck shit going on right now.
Yeah.
This whole thing with Act is a setup. He knew this shit was coming. He knew this shit was gonna be dropped. He's compromised. Like I said, and I'm saying this just from the media aspect, no hard feelings, no personal feelings.
Right.
Because he knew Drake didn't have a record. He knew that Drake the fart part 6. You know what I'm saying? That shit was a wet fart. And I'm saying that from the musical aspect of it. They kept saying Kendrick can't make a hit. Kendrick can't make a hit. That's been Drake's whole angle. He can out rap me, but he can't out hit me. And he just did it. And then he just comes with this low energy bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I'm gonna say like I'm biased from an aspect is Kendrick is the GOAT to me. And I'm an old nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like
right.
Over Jay, over Biggie, over all of them, none of them can do what Kendrick can do when he showed this. He can go from 3,000 to Tupac to, you know what I'm saying, to Jay-Z, to Nas, to, you know what I'm saying, to Snoop. He can do everything all of them can do.
You can
in
tell.
one package.
You can tell it's the same where like Michael Jackson studied like Fred Astaire, James Brown. You know, he studied so many people in so many industries and art forms where he can channel a move, a dance, a sound, a look to where he's paying ode to the greats but before him. And that's kind of what you're saying. Like that's what Kendrick does with his music, with the way his voice octaves, like he's a student of the game.
Right. And they knew this, but what they didn't know that he was a student of the business and media game. This is the side of Kendrick that even surprised me. The fact that he waited so long to drop, to build the anticipation, to use academics, you know what I'm saying? They count down to drop, keep the interest going of him dropping. And then when he drops, and then Drake drops, he drops right on top of Drake again, you know what I'm saying, throwing a wet blanket on Drake's
On his
drops,
yeah.
and also hijacking academics lives every time. He waited just as good as academics got his live going 30, they're saying 30 minutes into the live, and he would just drop and he forced them to cover it. And I'm gonna say this, you know what I'm saying, the angles that he's using. He used the black woman angle, the pro-black woman angle. He used the ADOS FBA angle. You know what I'm saying? You're not one of us. He's tapping into he's internet aware.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And one of the big ones he used, and I'll be very careful, is what's going on these college campuses right now. And I tweeted about this long before the song came out. And I said it even on Star Show about calling Drake a colonizer. That's a very strong word to use because that taps into that energy that's happening on these college campuses right now. And this answers your question, I believe, of why they want to have a Drake so they can control the narrative and not let a free agent and a free speaking person actually have the microphone in hip hop.
Yeah, and this is what you're seeing, and this is why they've been trying to control hip hop since the late '80s, early '90s, because it's always been a voice for the people. And Kendrick Lamar's moves, like, has always been even. And I'm gonna say that I think that every rapper, this is like wrestling. Every rapper is paid to play a role, right? But I think when it comes to Kendrick Lamar, when it comes to off the rap persona, he doesn't live like a rapper. So the things that most rappers are susceptible to isn't his case. So he could be a piece of shit like everybody else, but he's probably just a piece of shit on like some normal shit, like somebody you know in your phone or your life that, you know, you got a cousin that's like, you know, he's cool and all, but he's really an asshole and he doesn't really come to a lot of family functions. And he cussed me out about 3 times, but he's doing all right. Kendrick's probably like an asshole like that, not like a superstar. I rob beats, I beat up niggas, I touch on underage girls. I take songs and yeah, get niggas killed allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think trying to put Kendrick Lamar's morality and character on the line is a weak comparison to people saying that you are the next P Diddy and R Kelly, and you're taking the wrong approach to being the next Michael Jackson.
You're right, and he put on full display who he is every time he drops a project. You know, every in all of them, and to Pimp a Butterfly, he was dealing with success and how he would have to cut people off. And you know, even though you're supposed to stay true and hold the hood down, he's like, I can't do that. I can't take everybody with me. On the latest one, you're saying, good, Mr. Morale, he was about like the monster that he had became, and how he had to do the self work. You know, and I even say like this. He even said something to Drake. He's like, you need to take some ayahuasca. You know what I'm saying? That's what Will Smith was taking. That's what Chris Rock was taking. This is what them boys be taking to actually go and fight their inner demons and talk to what they call an entity called mother. I don't agree with that, but I'm just telling you, showing you that the man is always working, doing the self work. So if you're always purging in public and showing people all your flaws in public, and you're not in them weirdo parties, then they really don't have nothing to control you with.
That's one of the biggest points of this whole conversation, on top of the fact that, like, when you really try to break this down with Drake, This record that he just dropped, and this is why Kendrick Lamar is so smart, strategic. Drake drops push-ups. We don't know if it's AI. We don't know if it's a leak. We don't know what's going on. I think Drake and his people put it out there, and if it didn't get a warm enough reception, he would have called it AI, but it came out. It wasn't the knockout he wanted it to be. He wanted that to be like not as good as back to back, but good enough to float around, like for it to be unanimous. Like, okay, this is one of them. Kind of like Meet the Family on Friday night, right? Meet the Family to me was better than Push Ups, but I think it was because of continuation, it was new information, and it was a 3-beat switch. But Push Ups wasn't the song, right? You're waiting, you get nervous, then you drop Tailor Made, right? That was when people start to turn. That's when some of the OGs had to be like, you know what? We can't stand next to this. When some of the, the Pac representatives had to distance themselves from that record and stuff. Snoop showing that he sold out with that record. And you've seen people, try to say, oh, Taylor Made was fire. Oh, it was this and it was that. And this was the part where you can buy all the media you want to, but when you are even making missteps in your strategy, speaking of Drake, the things that you put in line to protect you can't protect you from yourself. The fact that you responded like you weren't ready for a Rick Ross response. You weren't ready for the Kanye drop. Every time, this makes it look like Kendrick, Kanye, Ross. It makes it like everybody is actually working in line against you because push-ups were waiting for a response. You drop push-ups, niggas is dance to that for 4 hours. Then we get the Champagne Memories. So push-ups couldn't even breathe because Champagne Memories. And then Ross being such a mastermind in beat picking, right? He picked the most Rick Ross beat you want to hear Rick Ross rap on. And not only made allegations, started the race agenda because he literally, the reason why that song was so fire is because, and it kind of smelled like the vapors of Story added on. It was like Rick Ross put all of Drake's insecurities on display for the world to see and told niggas to pick at it, fight it, eat it, make sandwiches out of it. But this is his insecurities. He didn't let that record sit. He dropped Tailor Made. Tailor Made didn't do what it was supposed to do. His bought media couldn't sway the opinions of the masses. And then when we're waiting on that, we get Euphoria, Fire Song. Nice. No. I'm skipping. Before we even go there, when we get Tailor Made, it comes out on like a Friday night. The next Saturday, Kanye drops his disc, right? Drops a Like That remix. Even though it got taken off, stepped on the Drake song. The Drake songs cannot breathe. That's why Drake is losing this beef. It's not because his songs aren't good or he's not dropping them with good timing. It's the fact that not only Ross and Kanye stepped on his first 2 diss tracks to hold Kendrick over, but pretty much made those diss tracks fight theirs while we're waiting on Kendrick's. But then Kendrick finally drops. We can remove Kanye and Ross out of the conversation, but you can't remove the songs they put out to step on. And then Drake drops again this Friday night. And then the thing about it, Drake, why do you keep dropping every Friday night? You know why? Because Drake can't get out of his own way. Fuck what everybody says. You spite and hate, and you have rabbit ears at this point. You hate Joe Budden so much. You want to drop before Joe Budden can say anything to step on your song because you know Joe is really your Skip Bayless. You're more scared of Joe Budden stepping on it for 3 hours than you are of a diss track coming out, but you are telegraphing when you're dropping. Oh, Joe is done recording Friday afternoon. I'm dropping Friday night. Did it 3 straight times. So the rappers are like, okay, when he drops on Friday night, we drop it. We drops on Saturday, we drop it. Because you trying to show on Joe Budden podcast. I'm just saying that point because why are you so focused on dropping the same day? You're making it easy for your ops like they're doing to shit on it. Drake does it again. Friday night drop. but we can't even get dressed to go out and dance to the song. Then we get the Meet the Grams. Drake's song that he made tonight was him responding to Meet the Grams. It wasn't him responding to Not Like Us. But he was so mad at Meet the Grams, and then Not Like Us dropped to where he doesn't know where to focus. And he was like, you know what, Kendrick Lamar got ugly on Meet the Grams. I'm going to get uglier. But it's like the floor you went to, Drake, might mess around and get you canceled. Because for me, I'm not saying this, and I don't think it'll be fair to our first reaction, but I do see a lot of the cancel culture really having a problem with him making fun of sexual assault victims, SA victims.
Yes. If I could jump in right there.
Go ahead. Yes, sir. Go ahead. You got the mic.
Because you hit it right on the head. And this is how the biggest flaw of a narcissistic manipulator is their tone deaf. They're so enraptured in themselves they can't understand how things impact other people. Let me explain, because you hit it right on the head. The angle he took that saying, oh, you're a victim. Bruh, your biggest audience is females from 18 to maybe 30.
Yeah.
And inside that audience is very liberal and very woke, if you want to use a word. And to victim shame and also slut shame Kendrick Lamar's wife for having a baby outside the marriage or relationship, whatever else, that hurts your biggest demographic. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's dumb. But he can't
focusing on women.
Right. So he can't even understand that you're alienating your own audience. And I want to make one thing clear. This has never been about if Drake is black or a melanin test or nothing like that. It's, bruh, you never wanted to be black until it's convenient for you. And I'm going to give you a parallel. The same thing with Colin Kaepernick. Colin Kaepernick was in the NFL for how many seasons before he was referred to as black? He was never even referred to and gave the black quarterback stigma when he was first came in the NFL and had success. What'd you say again?
I said he was like Patrick Mahomes if Patrick Mahomes didn't have a black ass daddy.
Correct, because we didn't know who his daddy was. You know what I'm saying? So they gave him this racially ambiguous pass.
Like the Dwayne Johnson, Jessica Alba pass, the Mariah Carey pass. Like you can pass as an other.
Excellent point. Like he could be Arab, he could be, Bruno, you know what I'm saying, whatever.
DJ Khaled, yeah. Drake.
Right.
You're racially ambiguous.
And then when Drake wants to be black, he finds the worst caricatures of blackness there is, whether it's the hyper violent, hyper sexual, we're saying everything is just a caricature of being black. Like the picture with him with the hair clips in his hair and the big gold fronts. It's like, bro, that seems so blackface. You don't even got to have blackface on. It just seems blackface. And I'll give you another, before I turn it over, I'll give you another parallel. It's the same thing we feel about Sexy Red. You know what I'm saying? But we can at least say Sexy Red was trying to make it out of something. So we kind of give her like,
Pastor is like, we know there's still a lot of us out there like her. And we're not saying she's a bad person, but all we're saying is that image does not need to be pushed as hard as it's being pushed on us right now. It feels like another psyops. And which then with Drake is like, no, keep going.
No, you right on the head. So, but that's the difference, because we're saying, okay, she's trying to make it out of something, and she really lived a real black experience. So we can at least understand, even though we don't agree, we can't say, I can understand why you rather do this than live how you was coming from. Whereas Drake came from not even came from that background, and he had other options, and he was a child actor. And it's like, you chose to come, you know what I'm saying, and embrace this, the worst of us, or what you think is the worst of us, and put it on display. But then you don't even live it fully. You know what I'm saying? You didn't do a Chris Brown where you down with the set and actually, you know what I'm saying, embedded yourself in the set. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You get on set, you do your lines, and then you pick up this British accent or whatever kind of other accent when you're Offset. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's this weird thing, and like everybody saw it, but everybody was eating off of him, so nobody could say anything. But that's why everybody now is like, oh, they got the green light. Like it's okay to say something now. And then now that's why I like this dog piling. And I'll turn it back over to you.
And I think the smartest person out of all this is Metro Boomin, because what he did was like turn up the shit on maximum as far as the Drake diss. He was like, you told me to shut up and make some drums. I'm going to use the AI technology that's been making all these like 50s and 60s sounding like R&B songs, like new rap songs and stuff. He was like, I'm going to take that technology, I'm going to make a beat, and I'm going to drop it for free so all these kids can diss Drake to get on. I said the best song, we're going to drop it. Now he got hundreds of thousands of kids, rappers, niggas who try and get on, taking a free Metro Boomin produced beat and putting a best Drake diss on it. So now Drake has a bunch of SoundCloud rappers dissing him to get on. See what I'm saying? And what Kendrick Lamar did with this diss, what people don't understand is it's more than calling him a pedophile. And I tweeted this. What Kendrick Lamar successfully did was detach Drake away from the next generation of female fans. That 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old high school, college fan base. He has made Drake look like the old creepy uncle at the party. He's made Drake look like the older brother who should be doing something else, but he's hanging out with us. The nigga who graduated years ago who brings around the alcohol. That's who Drake looks like. Looks like the nigga who should have graduated 10 years ago still showing up to college parties. He tried to say next to Sexy Red because that's being pushed, and saying next to Sexy Red could buy him some of his female fans and some of his female equity back. But that's been unsuccessful. And with Kendrick Lamar putting these allegations on him, and then the internet doing their job, researching and finding a long track record of Drake having inappropriate contact verbally with underage girls, you can't, as a Drake fan, flip it back on us or flip it back on Kendrick Lamar and be like, oh, you got to have proof he's a pedo. Okay, like, let's keep it a buck. If y'all found out I was texting a 14-year-old white girl, be problems, right? Because even as a black man, you know you ain't supposed to be talking to no white woman anyway, especially not no little white girls, right?
Right.
That's just nigga lessons, like Dave Chappelle said. You don't even need to be in a room with the white woman by yourself as a black man. You know what I'm saying? As a nigga lesson.
That's why I said that's where he's detached.
Exactly.
He's really detached from the understanding of, bro, you can't do this. You're not supposed to even move like that. But at the same time on this new song, he said, I knew how you were going to come at me. If there's no innuendo and there hasn't been smoke there, how do you know this is how Kendrick is going to come at you? Bro, you knew what the allegations was for a very long time. This is nothing new. It's just that Kendrick was the first person to actually say it. And we're in a different environment now. We're in the post Diddy environment. We're in the post Cat Williams environment. People are all for conspiracy theories. Now I had to say once again about something about, and I'm not making this about act, but he's interjected himself into the conversation, not as a reporter, but as a part of the storyline. Yes. Bruh, now everything you have to say about another artist and allegations, you gotta say, where the proof? If Drake has set that standard, that's a bold standard to set when you have nothing but allegations and you run with allegations and do 4-hour streams, 3-hour streams with allegations. Now we can say, where's the proof? You know, because that's the standard you set by letting Drake say that. Where's the proof? So,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, so that it's a lot of stuff going on. And I'm gonna make one final point before I turn it back over to you again. Notice, I always pay attention to another thing, what's not being said. Notice the anti-Semi and I'm gonna be careful what I say on your platform,
Nah, keep going. You got it.
has not been levied towards Rick Ross, which he's dabbling in a trope and a meme about the nose, which is towards those people, and this colonizer thing, which is another word that's being, I'm saying, levied towards those people. But the industry and the shot callers are smart enough to know they say we can't burn.
This is hip hop. We can't do this here.
Well, they know that who Drake is and how Drake is seen. And if they throw the flag on the play, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like
it's gonna show their hand.
Right. It's kind of like when if LeBron is at home and the game 6 that he got all the fouls, game 7, you can't give him that foul. You know what I'm saying?
You got
going to the bucket.
Michael, tell me one time Michael Jordan fouled out.
Exactly.
How many games you seen Kobe Bryant foul out? Nigga played for 20 years. You tell me you never fouled out?
Right. So I think they're protecting their agent or their asset is a better word by not levying that, because man, in these times, and those people saying these things about him, they're not being said. That's strange to me. So it's like, okay, we can't, put him to the front and make him the face of those people, because, like you said, another target audience of his is on that college campus, and that college campus is lit right now. You don't want to bring that energy in, and I think Kendrick is consciously trying to bring that energy in and turn it against Drake. You know what I'm saying? I'm not dumb, and I'm not, ignorant to what's going on. Kendrick is very strategically trying to engage that energy towards Drake that's happening on these college campuses. I'll turn it back over.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I also look at it like what we're kind of seeing is like the people are rejecting the medicine that the industry has been trying to feed us through Drake, and the industry peeps it. But what Drake don't realize is, like, when we're saying, damn, why haven't they, shut Kendrick up, or why haven't, Drake's other side come and defend him or help him out in this case, right? But you know why? What Drake don't understand is because to them, you're still a nigga. So we're not going to give you the full protection because you decide to play nigga games. That's our money too. Future, Kendrick, not so much Kendrick, but Ross, Pharrell, these people you're dissing, you burning too many bridges where too many people that you run with get money with. Like, it's not at a certain point, nobody's bigger than the mob, right? Nobody's bigger than, they say it in sports, the name on the back of the jersey ain't bigger than the name on the helmet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Drake, if you are burning all these bridges, The Weeknd, Taylor Swift, Future, Metro, Ross, Kanye, these labels eat off of them too. So at the end of the day, it may be more advantageous to get rid of you because you burning so many bridges in rooms that you don't necessarily keep the lights on in. Like, you don't necessarily keep the lights on at Epic Records. So Future gonna do what he want to do. You don't keep the lights on in Compton. So Kung Fu Kenny gonna do what he do. You know what I'm saying? Rick Ross has already beat the music industry game. So you can't shut him up. The Weeknd, some of these artists are too big at this point. Just like when Drake is too big, some of these niggas is up there still they're with you. You can try to put 21 Savage on. You could try to put Lil Baby to do. You could try to stand next to these streamers, these other people, but at the end of the day, the people are rejecting what you're putting out, Drake. And not only that, you lost your female fan base by alienating them and talking shit about them over love ballads. You lost your Atlanta stronghold, and the hip hop community has turned on you to where nobody, tell me one rapper who's standing next to Drake. Drake is going to be the most isolated biracial we've seen in a long time. It's really going to be him and Amanda Seales standing on an island together.
And that's why I like talking to you, FBJ. You know what I'm saying? Because you make me think. Could this whole play be to cheapen Drake's value to push down his catalog value so it can be bought up because AI is the wave. One thing nobody, you brought it up in this conversation, but nobody's really talking about is AI music is the real winner in this. From creating music to sample, so now you don't have to pay older artists, to people being able to write their own lyrics and use people's voices and make their own songs. I think that's going to be the new playlist. It's like, hey, I got this dope Drake song that I made, and now you just need to have the rights to his voice and his catalog, you know what I'm saying, to create the large language model, you know what I'm saying, to extract from and make, you know what I'm saying, create the AI assets.
Right.
So could this be a 4D chess play move? Cause I never thought this until I started talking to you, to drive down his value and all these other artists' values when they start to consume their catalogs.
You know why I say absolutely? Because Drake's $400 million deal to me was more of like, this is a check to make sure you stay alive once this construct that we call the music industry as we see it erodes and evaporates in real time. This $4 million contract is like, here's your shelter to make sure you can still be relevant when this boogeyman of AI and shit comes, because just like Justin Bieber, just like QC, just like Drake, Future, Chris Brown, you know, they're either owning the master or selling the catalog. Because like you said, the music in itself made by the person is threatening to be cheapened. You know what I'm saying? It's threatening to be basically like eliminated. So I think Drake took this deal as insurance to make sure he can stay relevant during this time. But what's in the deal is whoever we want to roll out, no matter how vile, you have to roll out with them. No matter who we want you to sit next to, you're going to sit next to. Like, you have sold your image, name, and likeness back to the labels in order to receive this money, you know? And when you look at Drake's last album, like I said, niggas are not standing next to Drake because they know whatever Drake did to get that money, they kind of know that entails. And that kind of goes to what Kendrick said on that album, or what niggas been saying a long time. Like, nigga, we know what you've been doing in them back rooms. When you hear Kanye, Ross, you got Lucian, niggas, your daddy and everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, how you got a better deal than Hove? Kanye West is more successful than you in the music industry. How you got a better deal than Kanye? How you got better deals than niggas more successful than you? But what they're trying to say without saying it is you got the complexion for the protection. It's like when we watch Goodfellas and they talk about the whole made men thing, remember? But you have to trace people's family back to Sicily in order to be a made man. You can be in the mob all day, but to be untouchable, it's a bloodline thing.
Right. To be made. Yeah. Right. Your mother had to, your family had to go back to the old country.
Exactly. We know Drake shares that bloodline. So he's going to get those deals. He's going to get those rooms. He's going to get those advantages. That's half of the beef. Other half of the beef is you a sauce stealer. That's what I think feel like Future and a lot. That's, you know, where the Future camp is, the Metro camp is like, nigga, you just go around stealing sauce. The Weekends camp, you go around stealing sauce. Drake has alienated he's alienated the artist, the women, the street niggas, the pro-blackers, every fan group, every fan base, everybody who stands for something of integrity, Drake has pretty much bastardized and attempted to shit on, not only during this battle, but in his whole career. And the reason why all this is coming to a head, and it's funny when people say, oh, y'all just not having a problem with it. No. Niggas like me, certain niggas who've been talking about this Drake shit from day one, we can enjoy his music, but we've had these same problems with Drake since day one. But Drake has self-destructed over the years and unraveled, and has slowly, like I said, turned a demographic of a fan base away, slowly but surely, kind of what Doja Cat did. And when you turn around, your flaws are for all to see because there's nobody left standing up protecting you, Drake. That's what's happening. That's why you see his last album get pushed back, because he can't find anybody to collab with. He got to call Lil Yachty. He got to call Yeet. You know what I'm saying? He got to stand next to Sexy Red. Future ain't picking up that phone. You know, the Migos ain't picking up that phone. Young Thug locked up. You know what I'm saying?
Well, he's aged out too.
Yeah.
This is the problem about being a pop star. If your music doesn't mature with your audience, and this is what Kendrick has been good at, because from Good Kid, Mad
Yeah.
City to now, listen to what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Talking about therapy and self work and other things. So his music has matured with his audience. When it doesn't happen, then you age out. 30-year-old women, 35-year-old women are not trying to hear from Britney Spears. They love Britney Spears when they both were 16. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But when as you get older, you're not talking about what I can relate to. But I'm gonna go back to this AI music thing one more time though. This is the ability to separate the talent from the message. It's like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna make a feminist friendly Drake song. So let me type up some lyrics in Chat GPT and throw it in this in this generator, and it generates a beat and a Drake voice for me. And now I got something to listen to. It's like instant content. I've played around with Udio.com. I get it. That's what BBL Drizzy was made on.
Right.
Right. And look at it. That was the biggest diss song towards Drake. Right up there with Rick Ross's song. Until Kendrick started dropping. And then Metro Boomin come double back around and sample that AI song, to make to make
And it's like we thought it was 20 versus 1. It's like 2 million versus 1. It's like Drake is being drowned out by laughs. It's like Drake is being drowned out by diss tracks. It's like how he used to drown out he used to drown out like negative narratives about him online for years. He's now being, with like bots and trolls, he's now being drowned out by AI, kind of like the bots and trolls through real music.
And then the idiot legitimized AI music by using Tupac and Snoop voice.
Exactly. So now Metro can use it against him.
Right. And the industry can say, you know what? This is a great test run. People liked it. We thought they'll be repulsed by it, but not really.
Because Metro did. Metro said, you know what? Yeah, I'll you know what? I'm gonna co-sign AI, but for the people. Like, yo, we all gonna use this shit against the label, against the machine.
Right. And nobody get paid off of it because there's no old artist that you sampled. You sampled the vibe of old music, but there's no old artist to pay. That's why I can do open source and give it away for free.
Right. Or even with Kendrick being an independent artist, owning his own music, stepping away from the industry. Like, you know what? When I drop this record, because Universal doesn't own it, Epic doesn't own it, Interscope don't own it, Top Dog don't own it, I'm independent. I could drop this song, and I'm not putting a copyright on anybody reviewing these songs because the labels don't own the rights to my music. Once again, for the people, for the streamers.
Straight to the people.
Direct to consumer.
Right. He's got 40. I counted the last 5 days between 3 songs. He's generated 45 million views just on YouTube alone.
So think about how it's like, yo, Drake uses you streamers. I'm actually giving you streamers something to use. That's what Kendrick is doing. It's like everybody's using Drake's biggest weapons against him in real time. Like they're turning every gun he has back on him. And people say, oh, you're biased, you're this, you're that. And it's like, yo, I listen to more Drake music than all these niggas, like right there in Future. I've been to Drake concert floor seats. I'm a Drake fan of his music. But when it comes to this rap beef, when it comes to the things he's done, when it comes to the things he's gotten the pass for, I'm not going to ignore that either. I can separate the person from the music. That's why I listen to his music, and I still think he's a super Weenie Hut Jr. nigga, and I've always thought that. But I always thought when the Ghost Rider rumors came out, and even some new ones dropped, I'm like, he can't be in that hip-hop battle. And it's funny when you said pop stars age out. You know why? You didn't use artist. You didn't use musician. Because Beyonce not going to age out. Adele not going to age out. Usher don't age out. Kanye West don't age out. You know what I'm saying? Future don't age out. Real songwriters, producers, Pharrell, these niggas don't age out. You know what I'm saying? Mike Prince before they died. They don't age out. Now, if you do drugs and you lose your talent, Charlie Wilson's still going on tour. Young people still like. I've seen Charlie Wilson last summer. Hella young people out there singing every Charlie Wilson song. Artists don't age out, but pop stars, J-Lo, where's she at? Ricky Martin, Backstreet Boys, where's Justin Timberlake? You know what I'm saying? Like you said, these pop stars age out. These artists, black, white, whatever race, ethnicity are you? If you're an artist, you're a musician. What Drake would say is like, all that bullshit gonna be here, they gone tomorrow, only real music's gonna last. Not saying Drake's music's not gonna last, but Drake, what he's trying to hold on to so tight isn't gonna last, and is gonna erode his own legacy by not just letting go.
Well, he didn't grow up
at all.
He refused. He is the Peter Pan effect. He refused to grow up. It's like, bro, you're 30 something now. You got to give us something that not for me. You know what I'm saying? Like but for the people that grew up with you, that's your same age, you got to give them something to say, you know what? I still can relate to you. And the younger people, 16, 18, 20, is like, you the old nigga in the club. You know what I'm saying? So like you looking weird. And then the people your age is like, man, you need to grow up. So you in this weird spot. It's like only people that can relate to you is the ones still living your lifestyle. Which that's why I said, like you brought up Future, for instance. The people say, well, they rap about the same thing. We met Future when he was grown. You know what I'm saying?
32.
So, right. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he was at this age. So that's what we expect from him at that age. There was no we don't expect him mature.
We treat you how we meet you.
Thank you. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
If we met, didn't Pimp C say that? Like, if we met you as a clown on your first album, be a clown on your eighth album. Don't be a clown on your first album, and by album 3, 4, you busting guns, toting this and that. That ain't real. It's Drake.
And that's why Michael Jackson is such a phenomenon, because we met him at 8 years old. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. And he just kept reinventing himself time after time after time after time. You know, that it never be duplicated.
Right.
Or like, you're exactly right. We were saying, yeah, with that point.
And even with Kanye, it's like, well, he's reinvented himself and contradicted himself, but it's like, yeah, but he's an artist. He's a musician. He's a savant. He's so much more than music, period. He's proven that. He may be a little crazy, yes, but his mind is too cerebral to put him in a musician's box.
Well, even him, he talked about his kids now and battles with mental health and, you know, financial issues and, you know, that kind of thing. He's able to be mortal, you know, and show that mortal side to himself.
Yeah, he's growing up with every album. Is like Kanye does tell you what he's going through at that moment, and it does sound like from his first album to Vultures 2, it sounds like he's documenting aging as a black man from like your late 20s to like your late 40s.
Right. Like, and that's why I still can relate to him, because me and him about the same age. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. You know what I'm saying? The kids come first. When you get to a certain age, it's like, bro, none of this bullshit mean nothing. It's about do the kids got what they want or not.
And it don't matter how cool I am to y'all. I'm trying to fight for my kid. It's like, because Kanye West was the bang bang shoot 'em up trap rapper, and he was kind of like the relatable guy, he kind of gave people the pleasure of seeing the maturation of a young black man into a middle-aged black man with more complex problems, issues, the eroding of mental health at certain points, dealing with death, betrayal. Like, you've seen it all in Kanye West. With Drake, you hear it, but it sounds more like a shallow way, not like a self-reflective way, more of like I'm always a victim of what's going on around me. Drake never has songs where it's like, or moments where like he's sitting back and be like, damn, maybe I'm the problem. It's more of like self-pity, like, what was me? Drake is never like, damn, like, maybe I need to do some self-reflecting. He'll mention it and keep rapping about another bar. And he's not only is he aging himself out of the game, not only has Kendrick Lamar successfully made him look creepy to the girls, and I say this as somebody who came up in a Drake time, right? When I was 17, 18, 19, coming up, Drake was like, I don't know what artist it was for your time or anybody else, but Drake was the guy you go pick a girl up to hang out for the weekend and chill. If there was somebody you can put on that was a safe bet, put on the new Drake album. Put on Take Care. When Take Care dropped, was the first album of our generation outside of Confessions with Usher. The reason why I say Confessions with Usher is because I was like in 5th grade. So I wasn't dating, driving around. You know what I'm saying? When you're really dating as a young adult. Take Care was the first album we had that where it's like, yo, any girl you pick up, you put this on. Oh, girls coming over, and put that Drake on. Drake was the official put him on is a safe bet. The women gonna fuck with it.
You know who it was for us? And it's weird I'm gonna say this. R. Kelly.
Crazy, right?
Because he was cool enough to the women, but it wasn't soft and sappy.
It wasn't too soft for the fellas.
Right. You know what I'm saying? You didn't look like a weirdo riding around, you know what I'm saying, listen to R. Kelly.
Right.
Especially his bops.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's weird, you know what I'm saying, in that context of the conversation we're having now, is like Robert got some issues with him as well. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. And then when you look at both their music, all these artists tell themselves through their music. When you look back on it, like Drake, dropping songs like Teenage Fever. You're old and having songs saying you're old enough, but you're still a baby.
Yeah.
You're acting like a child. Sierra Canyon parking lot looking like Magic City parking lot.
Yeah. And from my aspect, age ain't nothing but a number. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so
I'm ready.
Yeah.
My mind's telling me no, my body's telling me yes. Like, that sounds like of conflicted sexual predators opening statements. My mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes. That used to be a quote that used to be laughed at lightheartedly until we found out what the nigga who was actually saying it was doing while he was making these records. And then it's like, damn, nigga. Same with Drake. Why are you making a song called Teenage Fever? Why are you marketing? Why are you targeting such a young female audience? We're not saying you like little boy. We're not saying you touch on like super. We're not saying that, but you have some type of R. Kelly complex in your music, allegedly, where you just can't seem to get away from teenage little girl, baby girl references.
He said it himself that's how
even my bad, but even with and this is why, if you really look back, he took such offense to what Joe Budden was saying about him when he was like, nigga, why are you hanging out with 25-year-old girls? Like, be around some girls your own age. And Joe wasn't even pointing to like the underage part. He was just saying it's kind of weird that you're dating at 37, like you're letting girls at 25 run, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, keep you up at night, breaking your heart. Like, what are you going through?
And it's not even the 25-year-old. It's you're
wouldn't get mad at 25 if you was doing something below that, or if you know what I'm trying to say.
Right. Well, it's the relationship too. It's like you're 37, she's 25, and you're flying her out to get carved up for your pleasure.
Yeah.
As a commodity, you know what I'm saying? And just use her, drop her, and you know what I'm saying? It's like this. Because he even said, I flew her out to get her body done. It's like, bro, that's weird.
And then we got rumors that saying you dating Lotto's little sister. Lotto ain't nothing but like 26 maybe? Like, how old is Lotto? Lotto ain't even in her 30s. So how old is her little sister? You flying out Ice Spice. Why are you flying out Ice Spice?
To carve them up under the knife. To say like objects. And that's what Kendrick was saying. He was like, you know what I'm saying? You are highlighting these women and acting like they're really women. It's like, no, these are objects, you know. And this is going back to the Diddy thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all have it's not even the age thing, it's the relationship. And it's the relationship you have with a 25-year-old. You know what I'm saying? You're not, it's like, I know I repeat myself, but I want to drive the point home. It's like, bruh, they're commodities to you. It's just like, you know, it's kind of like going through an apple orchard, taking the apple out the tree, taking a bite of it and throwing it on the ground. and then you grab another apple, take a bite, and throw it on the ground. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's like, bruh, like that's weird.
It's weird, and it's just to the point where, like I said, when I'm looking at this shit, I'm looking at who he is and what he's representing and what he's doing. I'm like, man, this nigga Drake, as much as I like his music, you know, Kendrick Lamar say he's crashing out, say whatever you want about this nigga. I don't think Kendrick Lamar would jump out the window with these claims if there wasn't smoke to the fire. I think at a certain point, especially being an artist, niggas would have a certain respect not to take it there with you. But for the fact that he keeps saying it, even when you say, oh, well, we fed you fake evidence. Kendrick Lamar saying these pedo allegations did not come from the fake evidence. Like, I'm not using that you fed me false information line to why I'm calling you these names as a pedo. You know what I'm saying? Why I'm saying that you disrespect women. You know what I'm saying? Like, these aren't things that can't really be debated. You making fun of Black Americans, and the thing that just confuses me is like, why do y'all, when Kendrick just said this, he doubled down saying nigga, and Drake keeps making slave references and saying nigga. I'm not saying he can't say it, but when there's blatant red flags about he's disrespecting Black American culture, and you have Black Americans ignoring that shit. But when something goes down that they don't like, or when they want to give us tips on how to liberate Black people, this and that, it's like, you can't tell me anything because you won't even stand up to a half-breed from Canada talking shit about us. So why would I think you ready to liberate Black people? Why do I think you even care enough about, you know, anything outside of what's a bop? Or you don't, if you don't care what Drake is saying on Black Americans, like, how do I think you care about hip hop culture and the future of hip hop culture as a whole? Because that's a Black American art form. Like,
This man said in the song with SZA, he said, I whipped and chained her like American slaves.
but
This
you
is
can't
what he
make a gas
said.
chamber joke.
Huh?
I said, but you can't make a gas chamber bar.
Right. But hold on. But then he comes back, and this is once again tone deaf to say you rapping like you want to free the slaves. It's like, bruh, people are questioning your Blackness. That's the last thing you want to say.
It's like him doing that, him making fun of Kendrick Lamar inaccurately being sexually assaulted as a child. You laughing at Meg the Stallion. You want Rihanna's plane to drop out of the sky. Your true character is unraveling, and we see that your dark sense of humor is kind of like suburban white boy frat house. You know what I'm saying?
Let me no. That it's a mixture because it's the white suburban frat boys you said, but it's also he is making himself the light skinned nigga off of Coming to America.
Yep.
That was old girl boyfriend.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
stereotypical, like I said, I'm not color risk. I got light skinned children and brown skinned, dark skinned children.
Right.
I'm saying he's living that caricature where you're literally making yourself that arrogant, cocky, light skinned nigga.
Like, you're proving people's points on how you are a culture vulture. Like, we know at a certain point, like, as just Black men, bro, you can feel how you want about Meg. Ain't no rapper come out here really didn't say nothing about Meg Thee Stallion.
You can't.
Exactly. And you can say or feel how you want about Rihanna, bro. You can't speak on Rihanna in the Navy. You can't keep name dropping Taylor Swift like her and the Swifties fuck with you just for their producer to go ahead and help with Taylor Made. You can't try to drop Honestly Nevermind and then alienate Beyonce's fan base and they be like, wait a minute, nigga, like, why are you trying to drop a dance record knowing Beyonce about to drop a dance record next week? Like, you trying to step on the Beehive? You can't try to diss Kendrick Lamar and his fan base. It's like Drake is just going down the line. It's like, is he going to diss the Barbs next? Like, you're successfully turning everybody and every artist with huge cult-like fan bases against you and still dropping records like you're expected to win. And now you just alienated sexually SA victims.
which was very dumb. And I'm gonna bring my point on home to this. I think there's gonna be more to this than people would expect, because one or two things can happen. Either Kendrick may know of some cases that may be filed in the future, or allegations, or he created an environment where some ambitious, clout chasing women from Drake's past, like, this is a perfect time to diddy him, to get a quick bag. Let me throw together one of these sloppy lawsuits like we seen against Diddy. You know what I'm saying? They were, some of them were very sloppy. You know what I'm saying? Misspelling names, misspell everything. They can say, you know what? Try to get a quick meal or two out of Drake.
And then the fact,
go ahead.
And you've seen that he they uncovered that he because Kendrick brought it up and exposed that, and this is why this whole Drake talking about, oh, we sent a fake mole out there, when Kendrick kind of re-uncovered the fact that Drake paid like $500,000 in the settlement from some girl in the UK that said that he sexually assaulted her, and he gave a settlement.
Right, but I'm just saying, some chick might be out here that's had dealing with him in the past. Like, let me get this quick bag right quick. Let me extort him. You know what I'm saying? Let me throw a lawsuit together. If nothing more, even if you don't get no money, you get to throw your name in the middle of you know what I'm saying, of a media, you know what I'm saying, storm.
Exactly.
As a character, as we seen with Fresh and Fit, you know what I'm saying? With that situation, how the Asian girl threw that allegation out there against him, and she became an instant celebrity. So I'm just saying, we've created this environment. Go ahead.
I was just about to say, even if it's for somebody's 15 minutes or seconds of fame, once we know that you are susceptible to something like this being true based off of your past behaviors, this can always slowly chip away at you whenever you look vulnerable enough for people to hit you. Case in point, and you can continue. I just want to.
Right. That's my point. Like the water is, I mean, the water is chummed. You know what I'm saying? For a shark to come in and be like, you know what? Hey, let me get this quick. Hey, Drake, let me get this money, and he might be getting bled right now. We don't even know about it.
On extortion cases where
right, $500,000 here, million here, 250,000, and I'm just speculating, but I know how these women that he's deal with think. They're very what's the word? Conniving is, I mean, a good word for it.
Yeah, they ain't playing with him.
Right, and one might have a crazy number. Let me get 5. Let me get 2 million. Like, nah, I ain't paying you. And bam, here go a lawsuit. And a lawyer would easily file it, because, like, I'm throwing myself into the biggest beef in hip hop. Look, he's already has the tag of a predator, and it could be completely untrue. Completely untrue. But the media is set right now, you're saying, to believe whatever's been thrown out there.
And think about it. With the Diddy shit coming out, any black man that catch these allegations gonna get tagged on them. But guess what? Then people are like, oh, well, I thought you said Drake is in black. Drake ain't black till they throw them cuffs on him. Drake think he OJ. He ain't black, he OJ. That's how Drake is talking to people right now. That's how Drake is moving. The pride before the fall. You know what I'm saying? Drake don't understand that street. Drake is like the only person that hasn't got the memo that the streets need a body. My nigga, put Tupac's ring down. My nigga, stop talking about killing niggas. My nigga.
No, Tupac even got, you know what I'm saying, hemmed up. Nobody's bigger.
Like, why are you trying to channel Tupac in that Gemini energy by not only buying the ring, not only practicing necrophilia by like using the Tupac AI, and then disrespecting the dead man's artifact by talking about you're gonna melt it down? Like, you're literally asking to be the next body for the streets. You know what I'm saying? To be the next nigga whose catalog goes up 400% because something didn't happen to you. You know what I'm saying?
And let me be 100% honest with you, because I'm not to show you I'm unbiased. Kendrick Lamar is not benevolent. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's something Kendrick Lamar wants more than money, and that's that's the crown. Kind of like Marlo. Kendrick Lamar, Marlo stands for you.
Yeah.
He's not in it for the money. He's not in it for. He's
Love of
in
the
it
game. Niggas got to know it's me.
right. And to get Drake out the way, you think he won't push a button on a lawsuit? I don't put that past him. I don't. I mean, cause I'm just keeping it 100 with you because if that guarantee, he already said it ain't no big three, it's the big me. He let you know I want to be the nigga, and if he get Drake out the way, it's clear sailing for another 5 years with him being that nigga, and that's really what he want is to be that have the crown. That's
You know what?
Marlo Stansfield rapping.
You know what I think would be the craziest diss record if this nigga Kendrick come out tomorrow with the Death Blow diss record with Pusha T.
Ooh,
If he come back
a
with the Death Blow,
a good style P and J that gets back and forth.
yeah, like let me
Yeah,
get him. No, let me get him. Like they just
yeah.
like they digging, like they kicking the body like back and forth. Like they passing the head back and forth like basketball, bro. We done cut this nigga head off. We dumping a body in the woods, like nigga, like you said on some back to back on some Coogee Rap Nas Fast Life. Like we just going. That's how you kill Drake.
But you know what though? I'll say this: Kendrick's so selfish with the crown.
Yeah, he don't want to share this moment with nobody. He
No,
want
he bro, I'm trying to take. I've been a Kendrick Lamar fan since, like I said, the Kendrick Lamar LP, the OD EP. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
it's
excuse
like
me.
a long awaited prophecy if you listen to his music.
Right. He only wanted that. That's why he sat and studied and what you led off with. Study all the greats and incorporated all the greats into his style and into his repertoire. So he
Never
can
sold
get to
out.
this moment right where we're at. And he's like, there's only one person standing between me and that crown, and that's Avon Barksdale. You know what I'm saying? I
Exactly.
gotta get this nigga out the paint. The same, but he gotta do it the legit way, and that's rhyming. But like I said, he's not benevolent. He is not benevolent. But he told you in his music, you know what I'm saying? I'm a selfish person. When it
And it's
comes to this music,
like Drake don't understand is that Kendrick's first album is kind of telling you like what he is. Good kid in a mad city. Drake, you're acting like a mad kid from a good city. It's like this nigga was light that came out of a dark environment. Drake, you are dark coming out of a light environment, but you're dark because you resent your own personal experiences. And that's why you cannot grow past your personal experiences. You're not saying they're more traumatic than Kendrick's, but like we were saying about Kendrick's last album, things he did. I took 5 years off. I did the growth. I went to therapy. I'm not perfect by addressing my music. Like I actually come from Compton. Like I actually come from gang banging. Like I actually come from homies getting their heads blown off, drugs being sold in the street. You know what I'm saying? Niggas actually where you from. Like I come from Compton for real. You come from Canada. Suburbs of Canada, my nigga. You went to acting classes and commercials and you were on TV. While niggas like Kendrick was just growing up in Compton, Drake, you were on Degrassi. So when it really comes down to like who really can go into darker places, it's going to be Kendrick every time. That's why that Meet the Grams record hit, and niggas is like, damn, this shit dark. Damn, this shit hit niggas. Damn, I don't even know if I want to play this back. Drake just did his rendition, and niggas is like, we don't believe you. Like, nah, that ain't it. Cool response, nice record. Shit was fire, but this ain't as dark as Kendrick got. And then you ain't dark because you really, like I said, the angle that, and this is another element that both artists got to pay attention to, but that's why this thing is a risky. These niggas toting this line because cancel culture is lurking to see which one of these niggas is gonna crash out and we can get a check cut from them. You know what I'm saying? Cancel culture, professional victims, ambulance chasers. They're both read through these lines who's gonna be anti-Semitic, who's gonna be anti-black, who's gonna say something, you know what I'm saying? And Drake keeps getting dinged every time. And this time, the latest one, you talked about SA victims.
Right. Which Kendrick Lamar,
Not only were you
he
wrong,
has woke people around, and I use that word woke. You're saying
exactly.
He has those people around him. Listen when he said, "My auntie is a man now."
Yeah, those are gonna be too much, and strategically, and it's like those he's gonna have those the new blacks that we all hate on Twitter. Those are gonna be the people who are gonna weaponize this, and those liberal, those people, the can't, you know what I'm saying, the sensitive people.
Mm-hmm.
Because people like me and you, we hear this and we like, damn, you went there, but it's like watching old comedy in the 90s. Like, yeah, people gonna go below the belt, but it is what it is. It's life. But cancel, social justice warriors, they're gonna take this line and they're gonna try to cancel Drake over this. You're gonna see New York Times, you're gonna see a lot of these, white liberal platforms run with this Drake is making fun of SA victims line. And then that is gonna turn up the allegations or the venom of him being a SA.
Well, only a predator would do that. It writes itself, right? So the headline writes itself. The meme writes itself. That's what their response is going to be. Only a predator would shame a SA victim.
Hey, real quick. Hey, who's Red Bar? Somebody said somebody named Red Bar. Send me a link. Drop a link. Somebody said somebody named Red Bar is streaming my show. I don't know who he is. He can hop on if you want, but keep talking about.
I don't know who Red Bar is.
Yeah,
but I mean, yeah, but like I said, but Kendrick, he's tap dancing in the minefield. He knows exactly where to go without saying it, what to say it to trigger those people. You know what I'm saying? To get them engaged. And we've seen Vlad, same thing, coming into the defense of Drake against Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get a black woman canceled from Princeton.
Exactly.
You don't want these people on your head, I'm telling you, not in this climate, because one thing they don't understand is that quote unquote intersectionality crowd, when you offend one, you offend all. That's one thing about it. That's what they don't understand. When you offend the rainbow flag, that offends the, you know what I'm saying, the feminists, that offends the, whatever. I mean, they all coming in a drove against you. And they got the internet on lock.
Bro, you can't cancel the victims, bro. They're gonna come out. You're gonna see people being like, as a so-and-so victim. Hey, Trailer Rash, just drop the Red Bar link in the chat so we can see his streams. I don't know who Red Bar is, but salute Red Bar if he has an audience. Salute to you.
I'm about to hop off here, Floorboy J. I want to make one last point.
Yeah.
Is this. One thing I've noticed is the Drake fandom is the worst of the worst. I'm just going to say that.
Huh? I'm sorry. They're the bronze sexuals of hip hop, but keep going.
Yes, that part. You know what I'm saying? Because like the same thing. We don't dislike LeBron. You know, it's like, bro, y'all are incessant pushing the fact that he's this and that. It's like, bro, you're not being logical. You're not living in reality. You're not, you're saying you're not using empirical data to prove your point. Like we're having a discussion. If you're saying that's your favorite, I can't argue that. You know what I mean? I can't, I have my favorite, you have your favorite, but you're saying he's better than this person. It's like, where's your facts? It's like, we don't need facts. You know what I'm saying? Or they cook up these numbers, like they do with LeBron. You brought LeBron, is like they'll bracket a certain period of time.
Right.
And then make these what if narratives. Like if this wouldn't happen and this wouldn't happen.
Type shit. No, it's like I hear you saying, but then we'd be like, but what actually happened though?
Right, but not what we're saying though, Florida Boy Jay. We're saying if this had happened and they give you like 5 scenarios, you know what I'm saying? Like they're doing with this whole Drake thing now. And Drake's doing this thing like I fed him information, but then he turn around and say you getting your information from clowns. You said it in the same song. And if you point that out to them, they're like, oh, you're reaching. It's like, no, he said this in the same song. Which one is it? Is it Uchi Wally? Is it One Mic, bro? You know what I'm saying? So I just want to make that one last point that their fandom, his fandom, is the work because it's like, bro, it's you just can't have your favorite and I have my favorite.
Right.
They're
They
very imposing. They want to impose onto you.
they tear down everybody else in the game to push their guy up on a fake pedestal, and it's like LeBron. If you don't say this was the greatest performance ever, then you hating, and it forces niggas who are actual like just fans of him, like everybody else, to not hate LeBron or hate Drake, but hate his fans.
And then you got to kick LeBron back in to prove your point, which make you look like a hater. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, you pushed me to this point. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
You had to make me bring up how many times he lost in the finals. You know, like that thing. It's like, come on, like, yeah. So I don't know. And then the least informed too. It's like, what's a double entendre? How's that important? It's like, ain't this hip hop? What are we doing here?
Or we talk about Kobe's technical skill on the court. You're like, who gives a fuck about that? LeBron gonna dunk on him. It's like, all right, bro. We're done. I'm sorry, LeBron don't know post moves, but you know it is what it is.
Right, and they don't know basketball. Man, we gotta do this again. It's always good chopping it up with you, bro. You're killing it. You know what I'm saying? Every time you get on Star, you say, I gotta go right to what you were saying. When you get on, I know you're gonna have their panties in a bunch. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I gotta go crazy on these niggas, these new niggas. Like, bro, we FBA, bro. We gotta represent every time we get on Starport or get on this internet, bro, because there's too many nerds out here that try to make false narratives that was never outside, bro. And that's why we gotta go live on these niggas.
That's what was that we gotta do. You have a good night, bro.
You too, man. Appreciate it.
All right, peace.
Yeah, man. That was Mo Facts, man. Super Mo Facts tapped in from Starport, man. He has his own platform. Definitely go and subscribe to Mo Facts on YouTube. We're gonna keep breaking this conversation down for a little bit more. My main point when we speak about what's happening, especially with Drake in this situation, is, you know, I like his music. I think Drake is, you know, the presentation of Drake, the things that he does as an artist. You know, he makes good music, but he's a thief. He's like the Elvis of hip hop. I want to bring in Ack. Let me see if we can do it like this. Yeah. What is Ack talking about? You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to see what where's academics in this situation. You know, Ack's just been looking kind of weird, bro. I'm just gonna be honest. Ack's been looking weird. Niggas is just looking real funny in the light right now. I feel like academics kind of, I can't help to say it, but I feel like academics kind of hitched his wagon to Drake, and it's making it harder for him to do his job. Is he a journalist, or is he just a fan with a platform? I'm not saying academics isn't a journalist, but it just really takes away from any type of objectivity you thought he should have. So I'm gonna go ahead and,
but
we're gonna see what Ack's talking about.
I think it was 9 and 10 before tonight's record. I love all those records. I think everyone has done their part of what I think this is hip hop's greatest battle. Time will tell. I think it's hip hop's greatest battle. Is Jay and Nas in the modern era, where you have to worry about, you know, having salacious content and how people are going to do memes about it. And I see all these, you know, OVO Ho, Michael Jackson. Like, I hate that part of it. I don't care about hitting children. I don't care about that. That shit is nasty to me. What I like
That's crazy. What do you mean you don't care about hitting children? Like, who says, hey, yo, I don't care about hitting children. I'm just here for the music.
Outclass him in that sense of the timestamp record.
Problem with these niggas, bro. Who is this? Elliot Wilson?
After he called it a kill shot.
Elliot Wilson was trying to get another Drake interview
so far. Now, it's not over,
that'd be the
but
problem,
the problem also
bro.
the energy of
Niggas
power.
talking about, well, I don't care about
that
you
record,
kids,
it
but I'm
makes it seem like he doesn't want to engage anymore.
Like, come on,
and
my
people
dude.
are running with that and saying he waved the white flag. He clearly did not do that, but it plays into the narrative that he doesn't view Kendrick as a worthy opponent. He even says it in it, and I think he has to stop taking that approach.
Hey, by the way, I'll you know, and definitely I'm gonna hit DJ Head, and me and him we can, you know, argue it out. But
connect y'all. He's a well-respected DJ in the West Coast, and obviously he has the affiliations, and you know he has his biases. But you know, and that's what we tap into this in the bigger picture thing that I have coming up on YouTube soon on Up Rocks Hip Hop DX is what does that mean? Why does it seem that the West Coast is so united, right? Like what is that pride that they have? What is the unification that's there? Why is that? What makes that unique and what makes that special? And does Kendrick really not like Drake? And so we tap into all those issues and have.
Did Elliot tap into why the East Coast has such a unification with Drake against Kendrick during this battle, and that's supposed to be the home of the hip hop purists of we don't accept ghostwriting, we don't accept phonies, but all the East Coast niggas is lined up with him. And Elliot he looked deep enough to figure out why is the South and the West so united against Drake, and why is the East Coast not only out the loop, but isn't it funny how not only is the East Coast out the loop, but they're also siding with Drake simultaneously? That's what the real conversation needs to be around this topic.
But give me a really deep conversation about that's really good.
Hey, I resent the idea that he's waving a white flag. He's ready to tap out. The reason why
tap out, he did not give up. No, he did not.
The reason why, if I was going to think that on Family Matters, he literally says, I'm about to go on vacation, meaning almost, hey, I'm done with this. And if you're going to have that thought, you would have had that thought then. The mere fact that he returns with the hard part 6, that if, you know, and you've heard it, like it's clearly either written or at least edited in the last day to reference the drop from last night.
Yeah.
You know,
I think Joe Budden jumped on, revealed it in a sense. Like, I'm sure they had certain, ideas of what they wanted to do, and then you can go in and tweak a couple of bars, right, to make it more relevant. Like the skeleton of the track was already cooked up. There's no way, Meet the Grams was cooked up like immediately after that record came out. He had that. He had the information. And, then you tweak certain lines to show that you're really literally responding to the record before, which is brilliant. There's nothing wrong with that. That's MCing. That's craftsmanship. Like, each guy challenged each other and took time off. And, you gave them a clock. You gave everybody a clock, and then people would basically respond. So that, all of that is great. And again, I loved every move of this battle so far until tonight. I didn't like this move tonight. I didn't like him. The mustard shit is undeniable. And even he hints at that he would like that as a bop. Like you said it. You had the great thing of me. Like I don't like the lyrics, and I don't like those allegations and all that bullshit. But it's a bop, and it's a smart strategic move when you make such a dark record or a sinister kind of vibe to then go to that, and the record just feels so West Coast, And it's like it doesn't even have to be a national hit. If forever will be a regional hit, and it gives the West Coast the backing, to go behind Kendrick. What we love about Drake, I think, is that Drake runs around like the Jay-Z, where he wants to be the leader of our culture. And he carries that. And he said it in our interview about what makes him different than K-Dot and Cole. He wants to be the guy. He's proven to be the guy time and time again. He's battle-tested. He's our guy. No one can deny that he, to me, is number one. But Kendrick, we're not used to seeing Kendrick active. We're not used to seeing Kendrick drop records like this. We're not used to seeing, he even said it there, he inspired Kendrick, Jay made the same mistake with Nas. He kicked Nas when Nas was down. He kicked Nas when Nas was coming off Nostradamus, which was like the fourth album that no one really connected to. He had issues with his mom. And Jay, was finally feeling his oats that I'm the king of New York. Biggie's gone. It's me. I'm the guy. And he picked on Nas, and it backfired because Nas ended up, Ether and resurrected his career and had a whole another run of his career. So you have to respect in a battle your opponent. You can't
activate. You can't.
Yeah, I think there's real life concerns if it continues to escalate, continues to get crazy. It is inspiring to me. I think we're all inspired as hip hop fans to just see Kendrick so active, But again, there is a love for Kendrick in the West Coast. He's their king. He's their leader. He's their guy, and it's energized the city. So it has to be watched.
I feel that way is because you automatically have doubt in his ability to perform. Does that not make sense?
If I am to be honest, right, and this is me being very non-biased, I know, yes, he apologizes in third. If I'm judging rapping from all three individuals, J. Cole has been rapping better than Kendrick and Drake in the last year and a half. Factual, it's not even close. Okay, well, actually, no, let me not say it's not even close. But he's been the best rapper in terms of verse for verse, bar for bar, And we could go back to Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. We could go to all Drake's album, and we could go to even what Cole has offered. It's kind of like mind-boggling to me that you just think that Drake has just never been in the realm of Kendrick, right?
I didn't say that.
Okay, or I will clarify then, please.
I clarified. I said I think Drake is a dope rapper. I think Drake is an MC.
Okay, but is he in the realm of Kendrick?
What do you mean the realm?
So I mentioned the 3 rappers, and I said, hey, listen, at least in the last year, Cole like that. Everybody says, yo, is Drake gonna respond? Oh, Drake is shook. Keep in mind, the nigga who's never ducked a fade, win, lose, or draw, he never ducked a fade, but now he was scared. I watched you even tweet after Drake dropped push-ups, and we're like, Kendrick, finally, you can't just drop a song, make a moment, and disappear. When are you gonna come to play? You know what you tweeted? Nah, man, cook food take long, this and third. And obviously Kendrick did drop, but this is the point I'm trying to make. The rules I've seen seem to be skewed and different when it comes to Dot than when it comes to Drake. If Drake did some shit, if Kendrick did some shit that had Drake rap about some fictional shit, and he had planted some shit that Drake made a whole diss song, say Family Matters was about a whole lie, some bullshit that just got planted, and Drake rapped about it, thought he got him, because that wasn't supposed to be a gotcha moment. Meet the Grahams was pretty much trying to recreate the story of Adonis, which clearly and obviously had Drake really fucked up at the time. Kendrick tried it, except he fell for the banana in the tailpipe. It didn't work, and he rapped lies and fell into Drake's plan. If Kendrick did that,
this is my point, and this is my issue with academics. When it comes to this beef, when it comes to these Drake allegations, you keep saying that it's a bold-faced lie, and this was showing your bias. How do you know for such a certain that Kendrick Lamar is lying? Just because Drake said, hey, he lying on me? Like, where's your proof that you know that these allegations are lies? That's my issue with Ack. You know what I'm saying? That's my issue with Ack right now. You can't keep it a buck and be like, they're just open allegations. You gotta be.
People will be calling him a genius of the highest of heights. Yo, this guy's like, yo, he's Einstein level. When Drake does it, they're like, whatever. What I'm trying to say is it's harder to impress the peanut gallery for Drake than it is for Kendrick. Kendrick, am I lying? Kendrick gets allotted more. He gets allotted more leeway. He gets applauded for.
And it's funny how Ack is trying to paint the narrative that Drake is an underdog. That is the funniest, craziest reach I've ever heard a nigga have for Drake, that like somebody else is allotted shit that is out the norm. You know what I'm saying? This shit's crazy.
Or less. And by the way, I'm not saying that to say he's subpar. He's done an amazing job on timing. He's also done a good job maneuvering and also realizing this is hip hop. Sometimes the lies can work, right? Hey, put it like this. He's painted a whole picture of Drake being a pedophile. Drake ain't no goddamn pedophile, but it's a salacious enough comment where, if people can find slight enough credence to it, they're going to run with it. Yo, you killing Drake. Damn, let's make some memes about it, right? We get it. Yo, he has a kid. Bro, the nigga don't got an 11-year-old kid. It's a lie. Actually, Drake set you up to say the bullshit, and people still giving him credit. They're still looking for the kid like it's actually real. What I'm saying is that for whatever reason, Kendrick gets a lot more leash in terms of he gets a longer rope to do what he wants to do. Drake is held to a different standard. Am I wrong?
Tell me why that is.
Okay. And it's multiple reasons.
And be honest.
Multiple reasons. I do believe that some people have had their issues with Drake and what he represents in the culture. I do believe part of it is also his success. I said to Carl Cherry today, I said, Carl, let me tell you this. So me and Carl were talking numbers today. And Carl tells me what Family Matters does first full day on Spotify versus what Euphoria did. Euphoria did 9.8 million. Carl, forgive me if I don't know if I know you didn't really want me to say the numbers, but Drake did about like 5 million or so. I think it's not final because he said he was going to get numbers on Tuesday or whatever. Anyway, basically, Kendrick is beating Drake in his own game, which is numbers. And I said to Carl, I said, Carl, remember when I was talking about Drake being the underdog, and you said Drake could possibly never be the underdog because he's the biggest. He's the guy who blah, 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 blah. How could the biggest rapper be the underdog? Well, how do we explain the fact that Kendrick seemingly, unless you're going to say Kendrick has bots, which I think that's Kendrick's angle that Drake got bots. How could you explain that Kendrick's numbers are surpassing Drake? And this is how I explained it. Both have their own fan base, but we have a whole group that are kind of just casual, neutral people. They have gathered to see the king fall. The king is Drake. They have gathered to see him fall. Tell me if hey, listen, I might be chatting, but we have to make sense of this. If this guy is supposedly the most popular guy and this is why he came, why everything seems to be more popular on Kendrick's side, I'm telling you, it's like a Floyd fight. Except Floyd, people are voting with streams. You see, Floyd wouldn't give a fuck if you came to root for him to lose because he would just get the pay-per-view numbers. Here we see it differently. There's mad people who are hoping to see Drake lose. And even they might not even give a fuck about Kendrick, but they're tired of a nigga who's been at top of the game for at least a decade. We've never seen a run like this. There's 0 rappers who's ever been on top like this. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, Drake's run is unprecedented in music. Not limited to hip hop. In music. That's not debatable. That's a fact. That's okay. I have no problem with that. The problem I have is that's not what this is, which is why you've been on stream and you haven't slept. Because there's music dropping every Friday. There's music dropping every day, right? Right or wrong?
Yeah. Okay.
The reason why you haven't slept and you've been streaming nonstop is because this is not that. Can we agree on that?
No. Flush that out a little bit. Flush that point out. What do you mean? This is not what?
This is not just niggas dropping music.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. So that being said, it's not comparable to a run, to anything else. Just like NBA is different. That's not the same thing. When you get in the playoffs, it's a different game. Can you agree to that?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what this is. This is playoffs. This is playing for the spot, right? Okay. Not even playoffs. This is the finals.
Yes.
This is not the same thing as a game, a pickup game at the fucking park. Okay. Can you agree to that?
No, of course.
Okay. So I don't want to convolute the argument when it comes to, well, his run and his success and all these niggas is clicking up. That doesn't matter. There's 82 basketball teams in the league.
Hold on. The only thing I'm going to add to that analogy, because I love the basketball analogy, you see, and not to shit, hey, listen, you got your bias, I got my bias. Hey, I think Drake got a lyric that says, I wish this was like basketball or something like that we could actually get rings, because we're living in this sport of hip hop and rapping is a subjective sport. It's like literally you have to look at, it's all about the court of public opinion. You know how many haters LeBron has? You know what I mean? If they had to vote if he wins another ring, the nigga would be ringless for the rest of his life, right? Because of, there's even resentment about how he's ran the league. What I'm saying is that in hip hop, there isn't like an official merit-based, did you win it or did you not? Did you accomplish? Especially when we throw numbers out the window. When we are talking about a battle, it's all about opinion. And then it becomes about, it's the majority opinion. And yes, that a lot of times favors the most popular person until the most popular person has ran the game for 10 to 15 years. I made this one analogy, and I said this to Carl Cherry too. I said, listen, let me tell you this. And it's not even about just the other rappers in the game. I said, go look at Michael Jordan's motherfucking Hall of Fame speech. All of his peers from that era showed up. Not a lot of them were smiling like, oh, we're so happy for you, Mike. You know what all of them knew that represented? When Mike won all them championships, he made sure a lot of niggas was ringless. They never got their time in the light. Their failures was why he was winning. Every time Drake number one is why these other niggas ain't number one. And it's not only about just other rappers. It's the same with fans. Fans kind of get tired of the same nigga winning. It's the reason why, like, listen, name, okay, I ain't trying to throw my man Lil Pump under the bus, but like Lil Pump was, and again, I'm not saying like he was like some top tier rapper, but he had his time, and then those same fans moved on to another rapper. In music, naturally, it cannibalizes itself in favor of the new generation and the new youth. Drake is just an enigma who has lasted the test of time and lasted so long. I do believe that not only fans, not only rappers, but fans as well be like, yo, bro, I'm tired of this nigga running this shit. We want to see someone give him an L. We want to see somebody get him humble. And that's what I'm saying about us weighing this, because this is weighed in the court of public opinion. And people tired of this nigga winning. And here's the thing. Who looks better to the person who you can identify with, which is a nigga like Kendrick? He doesn't do too much. It doesn't seem like he's chasing fame. He goes away. He's a family man. He's very modest in all aspects from what we could see. He's someone that people could root for. Are you going to root for the nigga with the jumbo jet, the nigga who's at courtside with the baddest bitch every two nights? He's doing everything that is just out of the ordinary that you can't even compare to. Of course not. So, of course, there's a lot of people that just generally, I'm not talking about Kendrick fans. Kendrick fans loves Kendrick, right? Drake fans love Drake. But there's a bunch of other people who's tired of this nigga winning.
I understand that. I don't give a fuck about him winning. I mean, I don't think that. So. Here's the duality of what you just said. You're a fan of hip hop, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Hip hop is a sport of competition.
Yes.
Naturally, people are wanting whatever you have. Whether it comes to success, whether it comes to a hit record, whether it comes to producers, which is why when a producer catches a wave, that producer gets an influx of records. Mm-hmm. Correct? Okay. Same thing with hooks and features and stuff like that. That's the way this goes. That's not to say that people are just lackadaisical about their.
Hey, yo, salute to a Gift and a Curse podcast. Please like, share, subscribe on this. Make sure likes reflect viewers. Subscribe to the YouTube channel for the boy Jay. This Perspectives and Facts podcast live stream is 1:27 a.m. in the morning. I'm about to go to bed really soon. We will pick back up in the morning, but we're gonna catch a little bit more of this reaction, and we're gonna close shop. But let's get back to the show. Salute Gift and the Curtis podcast. Please subscribe to her platform as well. Let's get back to this beef. Pause.
Approach to success. And yes, if this dude has the top spot, the spirit of competition is I want that spot.
When they did the blackface and he explained it on like a post, yo, look, he's explained himself too much. So how would you defend yourself? So you're saying he shouldn't have rapped about it, but he should defend himself. How should he defend himself?
I mean, to me, it was a wasted opportunity. It was a whole song about it, bro. And honestly, it's just kind of tired, to keep it real with you.
It's not the only song he's gonna drop. I'm telling you, it's not like his final song.
Okay, fine. Then let him drop again, and then we'll see how that goes for him. I'm telling you that to me it was a wasted opportunity, and that wasn't it. And so based on my calculations and your calculations, you still have that ahead, correct?
Yeah, I have Kendrick slightly ahead because I believe that Not Like Us record is gonna start move a little bit. And if I had to give Drake advice, I would say, just like how he stepped on Family Matters, you need to step on that.
And I would give that. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, and that would be my demeanor. And again, hey, it's on him to do it.
Okay, and I'll just say this before I go, but my advice to him: leave him alone. Go make them bops. Go make your records. Leave him alone. That's my advice.
I would only follow that advice if I'm like, I'm tired of this nigga lying on me. Okay, I think Drake even said in the record, if we're willing to get to the truth, let's do it. And I thought Kendrick started off his whole plight by saying, don't tell no lies about me, and I won't tell the truth about you. So correct. I'm wondering when did he switch up his stance and just start lying? Like, he's supposed to be telling the truth about Drake. Now, when he says, hey, you're a Canadian guy and you came here and we felt like you've used Atlanta, you've used that. Hey, that's an interesting way to kind of like purport things. I could buy into that. That could be truthful. But when you say a nigga got a kid and he don't, that's a lie. When you say a nigga's a pedophile, he's not, that's a lie.
Yeah, but you also, I mean, that's what I'm telling you. You're picking and choosing your spots because of your biases. There are also other things that have been said as far as that are inflammatory things where those are also untruths. When you mention people's family and their kids and who they belong to and stuff like that, that's completely out of pocket and it's completely inflammatory and it's completely untrue. So when you say things like that, I understand that. I'm not telling you that lies beget lies, but what I am telling you is that, look, I'm not even here to debate that, bro. I'm here to debate the records, right? You say they're lies, cool. If you've done your due diligence, cool. The world has to take your word for it. Like when he dropped the record and it wasn't up on any of his services and anything like that. And I told him to put it up. Say it with your DSP. That'd be freestyles on his SoundCloud. I played back to back on the radio for 2 years. Mm-hmm. It's out, right? Okay. That being said, he did it. We're here. You got Dot up. My advice is go make your records, bro. Leave him alone.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. The reason why I think he won't do that, number one, I don't think Kendrick Lamar has the capacity to decapacitate Drake, right? I think his best shot was the lies, and if we're acknowledging that they're lies, and even if I say I have, Kendrick up slightly, it's gonna be competitive, right? And as long as either one don't get demolished, this is probably gonna be back and forth. Again, I had Drake up 3 songs ago.
You don't think he's demolished at this point?
Nigga, we just talked about the bunch of lies. I said if them lies were true, yes. If the lies that I'm being honest. If them lies were true, bro.
I don't really know if I have anything else to offer to this conversation. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, you've yet to still explain to me how we got demolished.
Record for record. I did explain it. You have Dot up right now.
Yes.
Barely. Okay. It doesn't matter. You have Dot winning right now, correct?
Okay. Yeah.
That's my explanation.
But we're talking about someone completely violating the other person. Again.
And then head off into the sunset on a horse.
Let's get it right. Let's call Joe Budden.
Joe Budden, we gotta get the Joe reaction. The chat saying something different. Hold on.
Let's see if we can get Joe Budden on the line. Yeah, I'm on the stream and I gotta get some
this Joe reaction.
Just a minute or two, man. What's the vibes?
I'm over it.
You're over it?
I'm over it.
How are you over it?
Shit's exhausting. I'm done. I'm in bed.
What do you think about the drop from last night to tonight? It feels like this is more about speed. What do you feel like is going on right now?
Too much. I just feel like too much is going on. Like yesterday was a lot. Today Drake sounds exhausted. It's like I'm exhausted. I feel. I don't blame him. I don't know what's going on. I want these niggas to stop. I'm over it now.
Well, if you're saying that, we're gonna start talking about a winner, right?
We know the winner.
Do we?
Hold on. Joe said we know the winner.
All right, I'm not doing this with you right now.
Okay.
Who's the winner? If it ends right now.
If it ends right now, are we counting the lies or not?
Oh my God. Yes.
Yo, thank you, bro. You see how the last 2 niggas Act tried to call pretty much is like Act. Kendrick won this beef. Drake is done. Drake's in the body bag. We sent that nigga back up to Canada. It's done.
We're counting all the lies. It's okay to lie.
Oh man. Well, it's not over yet, Joe. It's not over yet. It's not over yet, motherfucker. Hey, honestly, listen, this goes on until the rightful winner wins. It's one of those. Hey, it's like when the NBA got some shit going on. Where are they about to lose? All right, another overtime. Come on, let's get it right. It's like the NFL.
When are you gonna get some rest?
Oh no, I'm well rested. Like, I mean, actually, I've been losing my voice consistently for like last 5 days. But yo, you know what? I've been thinking as MCs, like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, are they having a good time, or are they just literally stuck in a studio, being like a slave to our unrealistic demands for really quick records?
I think Kendrick might have been in the studio anyway. I think Drake is getting annoyed with having to go to a studio to answer to this bullshit.
He's probably in the embassy chilling. Like, the studio's probably in his room.
Yeah, that's true too. But he didn't sound happy that he had to go in a booth and address any of that shit.
Yeah, well, I think it was a subject matter had to address. Yo, you just made a possible outside song, and you're talking about me on a level that I don't want to be discussed on.
Yeah, I want the battle to end after Not Like Us. Like, what I learned today is I like Drake on offense and not defense. And this battle, for some reason, has put him on defense, and I don't love it.
I don't think Drake ends this on defense. I think Drake had to do a defensive move to go on offense. So I actually think he's about to get back on offense.
Yeah, but some of that shit he said tonight, in terms of the T, it was just reminiscent of some of the shit he said in Family Matters. It was like, if there's no more T and there's nothing really more to be said about the nigga, then it's like I told you last night, rap and then head off into the sunset on a horse. Like, there's nothing more to say, there's nothing more to do. Like, the people that think Drake won already think Drake won. The people that got their mind made up on Kendrick, they already feel that way. We got some great music out of this shit. Kendrick gave us a dance bop. Like, but if he ain't gonna put one of them beats on and just go ham on this nigga, then I don't want to keep hearing Drake have to defend his legacy.
Hey, salute to the chat. Salute, cut the check. Amen. Hey, one thing this battle has made me, Act, Joe, goddamn, Thought Crimes, Rory and Maul. Man, listen, this beef has been unprecedented hip hop gold. It stops us in our track, stops us with whatever the hell we got going on in our day, in our life. And we're like, hey, yo, we got to stream, real shit, bro. Like, my girlfriend came over here. She got off work. We about to chill and shit. Nigga, diss tracks dropping. I'm like, hey, babe, we got to go up. It's up. The streets got to eat. Streets got to eat, man. So we're going to continue with Joe Budden saying what's right. Drake fans, cope in the car. Your biracial queen has been defeated. That's what the streets are saying. We're going to play Joe Budden. Let's hear from Joe.
Yeah. Me as a fan, I either want maybe another rapidy rap song, or I want a hit song, or I want him to transition out of this the same way he transitioned out of that Pusha T shit, which is drop 18 hits simultaneously. Because I do think people are thinking that they're like, maybe he's affected, even if there is, let's say part of the culture that felt he didn't get the better of this, back and forth. I personally think his career is not affected. And I think anytime shit like this happens, he just drops 10 hits and let's keep it moving.
All right, well, if that's the game plan, I'd like to see him do that too.
Okay.
We got our money's worth out of this. This was good.
I was trying to ask Elliot Wilson earlier, yo, has there been any other battle where either the responses has came in quicker succession? It's been 5 rounds each. So there's 10 songs that we could discuss.
If there was, I certainly don't know it. I don't remember.
I also want to say salute to everybody who's watching us on Twitter. We got 94 people just from Twitter alone watching us. So salute to everybody on Twitter who's tapped in. Hit the like button, share, subscribe.
Remember the time. I can't remember this ever happening at this pace.
Interesting. Yeah. Well,
not with two of the biggest dudes. Not with the two biggest dudes at this pace. We never got that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, I enjoyed it. I honestly hope it continues, but maybe not continues at this breakneck speed. I think we both were on the same page. We're like, yo, I think Drake is afforded himself the idea or opportunity to drop in 3 weeks or a month at this point, yo. Like, this breakneck speed shit is like, we still haven't even appreciated the genius from the Family Matters joint.
I know. I played it today though.
Now I've been appreciating more with time. I played a bunch today, so I don't know, man.
Listen, man, get some fucking rest. Don't let these rappers fucking ruin your sleep schedule.
Oh no, I love this. I kind
I
of
know
love
you
it.
do. I'm glad you do though. But I'm over these niggas. I'm over it. I'm off it. I guess I can't be over it because I gotta go to work and talk about it. But after that, I'm done.
All right, I had DJ Head on and he was trying to say the battle is over, which I'm hoping I hope it doesn't end like this because I as well I didn't like the defensive and I even see Charlamagne text me too. He was just like, "Yo, I told you before that one of the things that Drake shouldn't do is explain himself. Like explaining yourself doesn't work well in the battle because now you're starting to, look like the person who's weak." Um, I thought he kind of had to explain himself because it's these serious allegations, but I could see why people think that. I think if he comes back with another record immediately, it's all good. But this breakneck speed shit is like stressful. I can imagine, bro.
Yeah, I do see a lot of people clowning him for the defense, the defense record. Like, hey, I'm not a better pal. It's like, all right, it's just a weird thing to say, to say in a rap battle, right?
And I tweeted earlier, Catch 22. If you don't address it, it's the elephant in the room. You address it, you seem more guilty.
Yeah, it just seems, I ain't gonna say guilty, it just seems weird. It's a weird thing to have to defend yourself over. So tough spot to be in.
Yeah.
And I understand the Drake fan and you not wanting it to end this way. I do.
No. I'm okay if it ends this way. Like again, my whole thing was I didn't want him to get embarrassed. Now, not only that is I wanted to see some fine rapping, right? Like he makes hit songs all the time. Like, I mean, I could name 200 Drake hits. I wanted to just see bars. Now, I think the masses might just want to see Drake do another rendition of back to back. Me, I've always said if you put both of these, you put Drake on any track with his counterparts, he smokes them niggas when he wants to, right? I think his pen has gotten resharpened. So I just wanted to see him just out rap these niggas because that's what I talk shit about. Like, yo, you niggas can't rap with my guy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you know what I mean? Keep reading the history books and coming up with shit, but my nigga really get to it.
Well, he gave you something for you to hang your hat on.
Yeah, I need a little bit more. I need a little bit more. But
one last joint.
I need a little bit more, but you know, if it comes later on, serious. The battle ain't done until they're completely done dissing each other. So if 6 months later Drake drops the fucking Scary Hours with like 3 like joints, I'm sorry, it still counts.
I bet it does. I'm not mad at you. Fuck it.
Yeah. All right, Joe, man. I know you probably got a long day tomorrow, man. I'm gonna let you get to it, man.
My man, how much longer you gonna be on stream, man? Go to bed.
Who, me? I probably got like 2 more hours.
Oh my god.
Well,
Fuck that.
I gotta do some like in-depth lyric breakdown.
All right, I'll catch it in the morning.
All right, my man. Damn, everybody's tapped out. Hip hop, nigga. We ain't get tired. Joe sounded tired as shit, man. That nigga sound like he laid up. Okay. Let me see what's going on with y'all in here.
Yo, listen, make sure. Give me a second. All right, are we back in the building? Can you guys hear? You guys, okay? Everybody came right back in the building. Everything's good. We good money.
Okay, so you just snitching on yourself. Then he says, "I can't believe these pictures are real."
I don't know if you guys can hear me. I feel like I don't know what's going on with the Wi-Fi. I feel like listen, OVO, the OVO sweatshop is throttling down my Wi-Fi as we speak, man. Any anti-Drake pro Kendrick Lamar or any for media right now is being cyber attacked by the OVO sweatshop camp, allegedly. The Wi-Fi is acting up, so hold on. Let me see if it comes back. Okay, so we're back, right? I'm gonna go ahead and sign out because it seems like my internet is being throttled down or something. I don't know what's going on. But we had a great night. And we're gonna be doing more live streams on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? We did a live stream Friday night. We're gonna do one again, most likely tomorrow, and then me and J Dub gonna get together do another episode of Perspectives and Facts podcast. Tuesday. I want to go tomorrow, but I might have to go out of town tomorrow afternoon. So I'm gonna try to come through early with like a morning or maybe like an afternoon midday show, just to kind of recap what's been going on. I may come back out in the morning. Who knows? But I appreciate everybody who's happening. Like I said, we got 128 people in here. Really opened up to Twitter audience. Was like 97 people from Twitter alone in here. We're going up. It's just lit. It's fire. We're gonna come back. People from Twitter, if you guys want to tap in next episode, we're gonna drop the link. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna drop the link on you guys. Let me make it full screen. Yeah, we're gonna drop the link so you can tap in like Mo Facts did. It's a great live salute. Cut the check. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go live on Twitter. Got a big audience over here. I talked to a lot of you guys on Twitter. And it's cool to be able to interact with people from multiple platforms. So we're gonna be going live more. It's another great episode. We did a 2-hour live. Make sure likes reflect the viewers. Like, click, share this with somebody. Send this to your mom, your brother, your cousin. Just no underage girls. We don't want any Drake, Kelly, or P. Drizzy allegations. Salute to the culture. The fans won. Salute to Black American art forms and salute to objective thinkers that don't let Drake's twerk wind cloud your judgment. You guys have a safe night. Happy Cinco de Mayo, and take care. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.